Alright, for flip number 7, I actually picked up a few different things on a couple different occasions. I stopped at a Goodwill and I picked up a couple of shirts from brands that I recognized. And just this past weekend, me and my friend were able to stop by a couple of thrift stores and I found a pair of shorts and also these floppy disk cases that were from like the 80s and they were by Apple. They're super cool. They had like the old retro sticker on them and everything. And they were actually in pretty good shape considering they're plastic and they're made in the 80s. I sold all the items individually and I was able to make a few bucks profit on each item. I think the shorts actually did the best. They sold before I walked down the price like I did on the other items. And I also charged shipping on the shorts where I didn't on the shirts. And I don't really have a good answer for why I charge shipping on some items and some I don't. I'm still trying to get my target profit by adjusting the price of it, but I guess I try to get a feel of whatever that market reacts to and then kind of base it off of that. I've also been using eBay's promoted listings a lot, which allows you to take the listings you already have and then pay a rate and then have that advertised or bumped up when people searching similar items, and then you only pay when someone actually buys it through an ad that they saw. So that can be a pretty effective strategy. There's a lot of recommendations out there that you do it to things that are selling really hot and also like seasonal items and stuff like that. There's different recommendations for what you should use promoted listings for. I probably shouldn't use it on like collectible items and stuff like that, but I do just because I'm trying to get rid of it quick. I think they recommend not to do it on like collectible items and stuff like that because if somebody's searching for it, they're going to find it anyway. There's no reason to like bump it to the top. And for seasonal items, they recommend that you do that so you don't get caught up in the next season with your leftover inventory. For example, if you had like a lot of Halloween costumes or something and you need to sell them by Halloween, you'd really want to push those and get rid of them fast so you wouldn't be left over with a bunch of inventory for another year. And for me, some of my items I probably shouldn't promote that I do, but I'm really just playing around with it. Like the floppy disk holders that I sold, it would probably be recommended that you didn't do a promoted listing on that because if somebody was searching a vintage Apple floppy disk holder, then my listing would probably come up anyway because there's probably not a lot of listings like that. But I'm kind of desperate to get rid of my stuff. Also, I got charged an ad fee for that item, so I guess the person that did buy it actually bought it from a sponsored post that they saw. So it may have worked, or they may have just clicked on the sponsored post by chance. Pricing the floppy disk holders was actually pretty tricky because all the floppy disk holders that I've sold in the past seem to be pretty unique and all different in some kind of way. I started them pretty high. I started at like $70 or something like that, and I was like, nah, this is way too much. So I walked it down a little bit, and then I ended up getting down to $39.99. And eBay actually allows you to send offers to the people watching your item now. So you can send an exclusive offer to the people watching your item, and then they can choose to take it or not. So I had them listed at $39.99 with $10 shipping, and there was like 3 or 4 people watching it. So last night I sent an offer to the buyers. I just said $35 and I sent it. And then within a couple of minutes, I just heard that cha-ching and somebody bought it. So that can probably be a pretty good strategy to use if you have a lot of people watching your item. It kind of excites buyers if they see it real quick and they're like, oh, I better buy it right now before someone else does. So I wasn't able to spend a whole lot of money on this flip. I still had a lot of room to buy some other stuff, but I decided to go ahead and cut it off and then go ahead and make some more profit so we can have some more money to be looking for something else. There hasn't really been a profit yet that just blows us away, but I think the key is to keep learning, keep making small steps, and then eventually some of those bigger profits are going to start coming in, which will be super exciting when it happens. So I'm just going to keep trying, keep my eyes open, keep learning, and hopefully we'll really start to see those bigger jumps coming soon. So we'll see what happens on the next one.